Yes.
And so I'm recording, so I'm gonna share this right here. Bam. Okay, here we go. Felicia, I can't introduce myself.
Okay. First of all, I want to say thank you so much, everybody who's here, who's present at this moment, for taking the time to come and connect the dots with us in this presentation and discussion about light, sound, frequency, and vibration. And just before I introduce Mr. Raymond Harold Lewis to give his presentation, I just want to say just a small little thing about what Connecting the Dots is about. And it was something that Ray and I birthed together in terms of building a community, a place where it would be safe to talk about things that you don't get to talk about in a lot of circles, or maybe even different spiritual communities, to really get the knowledge and the technologies that are available from the past and the present, and things that are developing in the future to help connect those dots so that you can literally ascend and walk in the rainbow that you see in this prism of light. And I just pray that you will be blessed by this discussion. I learned a lot, and I realized as much as I thought I knew about light, sound, frequency, and vibration, I feel like I got a little one-on-one course. So without further delay, Raymond Lewis, light, sound, frequency, and vibration.
Wow. Hey, I just want to know where's connecting the dots. How can I join that?
Well, all you got connecting the dots, all you got to do is say, hey, I want to connect with connecting the dots to stay
Right.
connected, to learn more about, like I said, different modalities, different practices, and then just meeting other people who do different things. Like we have one person, my dear friend Aurora, she's good with business and finances. I mean, so there's people like that, and there's people who uh, drum, who do different type of techniques and everything. And so we're just really all sharing information so that we can connect the dots and be all that we are and what we came here to do.
Thank you, baby. I love that. Thank you. Love it. Well, my name is Ray Lewis. I'm just gonna small introduction. Uh, what I'm sharing is my experiences and some of the things that I done and I done studied and I found out and tried and got results from. And and I'm just here to say, hey,
Hey, hey.
this here right here, you need to try that, And then if you don't, I really can't talk no more about it to you because you haven't experienced it. You haven't got a prerequisite about what I'm getting ready to say. So I think it all started, like Reverend Amani say, with some mental self clarity, knowing who you are, and then it grows out to the next person, then the next person, then the next family.
Ashe.
Just keep going. So we got to get grounded in how get a good cosmology, how we want to see the world and the universe, and work with it in tangent together, in harmony
Yes,
with the elements and everybody around you.
yes.
So the next slide is, oh, okay, check this out. Listen to this for 20 seconds. Ah, so I'm gonna listen to this for 20 seconds. All right, listen. I just want to introduce y'all to something. This is a piece of technology that me and my wife came across for the past, it's been a month, so that we've been using this technology and been getting some great results from it.
Yes,
And
yes.
I so happened went to the website and I seen that they had a sample of what it is, and it's dealing with sound and frequency and vibrations. Okay, so if you got headphones, put your headphones on. If not, cut it up because I really do feel that the sound of this really will set a tone. You're gonna understand something. Here we go. So I'm gonna do. So just bear with me for a minute. For some reason, it's not working the way I want it to work. There we
Okay, there it
go.
is.
Back.
Okay.
There we go. I just got to bring it up first, and then I'm gonna go back to it, and then we can hear it. So I gotta bring it. That was up. So I'm back with you guys. share screen, take it to the spot, share. Okay. Y'all see a screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. This little technology is called Huso, and it's dealing with vibration and sound and frequency. So if you got headphones on, that's gonna be great. But I just want you to sit back for a minute for 20 seconds. Sit back for 20 seconds and just breathe normal. Well, okay, let me set it up. Let's do a cleansing breath before we go into this. Let's get to do a cleansing breath. And a cleansing breath, we're gonna breathe in through our nose slowly and deeply, and we're gonna exhale through our mouth. Ah. And when we exhaling out through our mouth, we're gonna push all the air out of our stomach. And when we push it all out of our stomach, hold it for like 2 seconds. Then inhale through your nose slowly again and deeply. When you get to the top of your lungs, hold it for a couple of seconds and exhale out again. Ah. You're gonna do that 3 times. 3 times. We can do this together. So when in doubt, get in a position where you come. Eyes open, closed, whatever. Preferably closed. Exhale out. Hold it. Inhale through your nose, slowly and deeply. Hold it. Exhale through your mouth. Ah. Hold it. Inhale through your nose. Hold it. Through your mouth. Ah. Hold it. In through your nose. Out through your mouth. Ah. Breathe through your nose. And exhale through your nose. Breathe calmly. Keep your eyes closed and just feel the ride.
Wow. Ooh.
Okay. I just want to come on back now.
Wow.
Let's do an introduction off that sound. Just everyone, just introduce who you are and tell us what you experienced, if you experienced anything or not. Uh, we can go. Anyone go first. Anybody go first.
I go. So I remember I was telling you that I wasn't doing it right at first because I would be already there and you wouldn't. I was getting there too fast. So I'm practicing doing it correctly now. And what I've experienced was I don't know, like when my eyes were closed, felt like I was swaying back and forth, but my body wasn't moving. So I don't know.
Ooh,
But
I
that's
like
what I
that.
felt like I was just doing this, but wasn't.
Look into that.
So
Think about that and see how you feel about that. We all gonna have experiences, different experiences when we introduce ourselves to meditation, technology, healing modalities. There's never the same kind of experience. And I just want to chime in with that, Tamika. Uh, a lot of times when you feeling that waving back and forth, that's your heart beating. if you think about it, did it feel like a heartbeat rhythm?
Mhm.
Well, it could have been anything. I'm just throwing it out there. There's a possibility it's your heartbeat.
Yeah, actually, you know how you get that butterfly feeling in your
Yeah.
stomach? It was in my chest. It was up here. It was like, ooh, like, and
Yeah.
then Delisha said, wow, and it was like I had already said that in here. It was like all in sync. So
Listen, I'm floating with you right now. When you said that, I was like, I'm waving too.
We're on one. We're on one. Anybody else want to chime in?
Yeah, that's right, man. It kind of the sound kind of came out distorted, but I tuned in on the frequency, and I kind of felt it like in my upper chest and my throat. I kind of felt like a I felt like it specifically, like in my upper chest and my throat.
Mm,
Damn. There you go. It's expanding in your chest. Your heart chakra is
yes.
opening up. Because lots
Mm-hmm.
of times when you get meditation or you do anything, if you feel it in your heart, this is where it's at right here. Your heart pumping more electromagnetic energy than your brain.
Right, right. Absolutely.
Anyone else?
I was just going to say that I felt a real calmness. I could really feel relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Well, I felt relaxed. I always like those deep breaths, the slow, deep breathing in. I was a little distracted because of distortion. Sound. I wasn't able to. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
that's David line, so I just muted him out for a minute.
Oh,
So
okay. And
go
so
ahead.
I was just a little distracted, so I was just kind of like getting in sync with it. So I feel like if I could have like been with it a little longer, I would have been groove with it. But
Okay.
it's still nice. It was still a nice experience, and I want to try it again.
Okay.
I really enjoyed the deep breathing, to get to that point.
Right. Got to set the platform, set the stage for creation. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else? We got two people left. Sheila and Aurora Day.
Hi, it's Sheila.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I just got on, so I think I missed the sound meditation that you guys did, but I'm here to listen to, some other stuff. So hello, everyone.
Hey, greetings. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Okay. Sis Aurora.
Oh, that was ice cream.
That's ice cream
I
truck.
said hello. I thought it was.
Aurora, are you there?
She might have stepped away for a second.
Okay, listen. Like I said, it's only 20 minutes.
I'm back here.
Okay, I need to do it again.
Now, what? No, I was vibing. Y'all know I'm still back here working. Listen, we're gonna take that vibration from the music that Ray just played, okay? And we're gonna play the lotto because right now I'm working on a client who came into a windfall. Part of the windfall was 7 $1,000 scratch-off tickets.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. So we gotta be in it to win it. And that's what I want to say about Ray's music. I'm
in. I'm putting my ticket in the hat here.
Hey, listen. I did understand that it was a feedback, and okay, and I'm gonna do this again. There's only 20 seconds.
Yes.
There's only 20 seconds. So let's try this again. Let's try this one more time, and let's see if we can get the most out of it. Most out of it. Okay. Y'all can continue with start yourself up in that breathing technique.
Okay.
Exhale. Inhale through your nose slowly and deeply. Hold it through your mouth. Ah. Hold it. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. Ah. Hold it. Inhale. Let a big exhale. Ah. Feel your body. Breathe normal. Breathe normal. Close your eyes. Breathe normal, and just listen.
Wow.
It seems like sometimes I be hating that it's over with. That's how I feel that I hate that it's over with.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to touch base with you on that sound frequency. You know, because that sound frequency, it has a lot to do with what we're dealing with. Sound, frequency, and vibration. Now, just by that little sound, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm getting feedback.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a little bit better. All right, here we go. Let's do this one more time. Now that little demonstration of a Huso is part of a technology that you can take command of your resonance.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean resonance in your house. I said your resonance, like the earth, like the earth resonance, the earth human resonance. You maybe I said it wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, you got to take the power back and don't let outside forces dictate what you think you may be. But be it on a positive, uplifting, harmonious tip, try to bring that in and see what you can do with it. You know, so I'm up for trying different technologies and experience. I'm a scientist in this, so I try to look at it as a scientist. I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna do an experiment. I'm gonna see what happens, and then what happens. Oh, okay, I write that down. This is for me. It's been proven, and best thing you do is share with someone. If somebody gets something up out of it, that's good. So it's really a lot about sharing because your medicine could be medicine to someone else. You know, something that you're doing or you went through could be medicine to someone else.
That's right.
You know, if you want to find the secret of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Everybody know who Nikola Tesla is, right? He was way before his time, and he was talking about free energy.
Hmm.
So it's some validity in that because we do know that Donald Trump's uncle took all the rights from her and all that, and something is going on. That's all I can say. So it's up to you to do your research. Use this little phone as the ultimate brain and pick up stuff and build your template, your format.
Mhm.
So my next slide here is what is light. This is where the rabbit hole begins, everybody. For me, I feel it. The rabbit hole begins right here with me. All right, it says, what is light? Light can be defined in meridian of waves. A photon, a waveform, a particle, or electromagnetic frequency. All those are considered to be light. All right. The next one, light is an electromagnetic radiation within a part of the electrical magnetic spectrum that can be perceived by the human eye. That's what light is. The last one says, in physics, light is also referred to the electromagnetic radiation and energy of any wavelength, whether is visible or invisible, such as gamma rays, microwaves, or radio waves, also light. So over here, I got these two spreads, right? Now at the bottom, look at the one at the bottom. Okay, right there it says visible light. 700 meter liters, MN, what is that?
Nanometers.
Nanometers. 700 nanometers to 400 nanometers. That's what we see, y'all. Now, if you don't think that's a rabbit hole, I don't know what a rabbit hole is. Now just look at that. Look at the entire electromagnetic spectrum. You got all the way from radio waves all the way to gamma rays. That don't say that these rays are not affecting us, and that doesn't say that we can affect these rays of light. You know that they're there, but science nowadays they say whatever we see we can prove. Nikola Tesla said once we start looking at things that's unseen, that's when we're going to start making breakthroughs. And this is unseen, the electromagnetic spectrum. We only see, I would say, less than 10% of the electromagnetic spectrum.
I see.
Even though some of these rays are harmful to us, in blessing of the earth, it shields a lot of these negative rays out, but it do let the positive rays in. So what we do with these positive rays that's come in, I like to just think it of as being conscious of that every time that sun is up, it's sending me downloads of information that's charging my body. You know, if you kind of like change the way you perceive your reality will change for you. You know, so I feel that this right here is a rabbit hole. We got all these other spectrums of light that we don't really talk about.
Right.
You know, so that's a rabbit hole right there in itself. You are the light.
Yes.
We are all light beings, radiating light / energy in our field. Now that's something that we kind of learned in the first one, another part of this presentation that we can pick up from field. What's a field? You know, a field is a field of radiance or whatever, you know. So we all have our own field.
Yes.
I like to consider it our electromagnetic field. We all have one. And the quantum entanglement of quantum physics is dealing with our electromagnetic field. That's when things are entangling and communicating unbeknown to our conscious mind. But our subconscious mind knows everything, and we just have to tap into these certain things or bring our energy up enough to tap into these things. So it's just, you know, baby,
yes.
You got these pictures, and I would like to say for all of us, look at ourselves as these pictures.
Right.
You know, these are here for something we can take of us. There's nothing else. There's nothing outside of you more important than you maintaining your sobriety, your mental health. That way, if you maintaining yours, it rubs off on others. You know, you start leading by example, or you start talking about it, and that right there can change a lot of things.
Yeah.
Talk about these images, baby, that you put here.
Okay. Well, this to start off with the man that's standing there with the palms facing and the light, piece of light around him. I was going to say, I actually felt that we should recognize that this is what we are. And when we talk about things about tuning up our chakras and, you know, aligning ourselves in certain ways, it's not that that color spectrum isn't in you, but brightening it up so that you resonate that higher frequency energy like was in this photograph. And so I was drawn to it, and I said, this is the state that I would like to keep myself in. And so that was why I picked that image. And then the image on top is Odisha deity that I just found out about from Lotus, and it's Osumare. And I just actually started listening to some information about Osumare today, but I was so drawn to her post that she shared with another image of Osumare, because you see the serpent and you see the rainbow of light, and Osumare is the spirit of the rainbow and the serpent. And it also from what I was listening to, it has to do with the moon, but just recognizing that we walk in this. This is just another example of who we are. And it's your Kundalini energy and your chakras and this whole connection. So I had to put him there because I don't think I've ever heard about Osumare. And going forward and to deepen this understanding about Kundalini, not just from an Eastern standpoint, but from an African standpoint. So I think that's really important as well.
Indeed. Hey, I like to add too, this guy here, Omodurare.
Osumare.
Osumare is what some people, some cultures in Mesoamerica would call the flying serpent. You know, the serpent,
yes.
the winged serpent, because it was always symbolic with rainbows. It's everywhere around this world. You hear something about this. You know, so it's up to us to pick up these fragments and pieces and build ourselves back up. We are Hiram Abiff. Anybody know that story?
I don't know.
That's a whole nother lecture in itself. The story about Hiram Abiff, who got jacked by three ruffians, and the three ruffians took Hiram Abiff's essence of who he was. Now Hiram Abiff don't know who he is. That's a
wow.
A Masonic term.
Okay.
Mason will understand when you say Hiram Abiff. No, we are Hiram Abiff. We are claiming our power back in the Masonic term.
Hold on before you go to the next slide,
okay.
though. Just go back to that. I just want to just ask, everybody here, like, do you really see yourself as the light? Because I realized in these images and just on the things that I've learned about light that, I don't think I've really connected myself fully what it really is. So I just wanted to ask, do you see yourself as light, or, how do you feel about when you see these images in relation to yourself?
That's a good question, yes. Anybody like to chime in on that? It's great.
Okay.
I will.
Okay.
So, I see myself as a light. I do. I see myself as a powerful being. I see myself as something that I don't even understand. That's so powerful. Because
Peace of love on that one.
I say.
I don't even know who I am.
Right.
Love on that one.
But because I know I am, and I'm still learning it, but at the same time, I lived a long time thinking that I wasn't.
Right. Okay.
So
Yes.
so if I'm tooting my own horn, I deserve it because I didn't do it before. I went so long, I'm this, I'm that, and just like that, and all this negative stuff.
Yes.
But all of those things that I let get into my head that were said to be not good are wonderful things that are building me up today. So how could it have been anything other than good? So if I'm like, oh, I'm good at this, oh, I could do this, oh, because I deserve to say it. Nobody else is gonna say it but me. So
yes,
so
give us some love on that one, please. You gotta go on that one. That's so real. I love that. love that. Thank you.
Anybody else like to chime in on that?
Yes, I would.
Go for it, Sheila. Sheila, we hear you. Oh, she must have muted herself.
You muted it. Okay, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I was saying that I also do see myself as light. Because I feel like even like in the midst of certain challenges that we face, when you really realize that you are the light in the darkness, it helps you to survive. And that's how come I feel like that's how come we're all
Yes.
Gotta give you some on that one. Give you some on that. We are the light in a dark spot, in a dark place. That's shame.
and surviving. And I was just thinking too, like, you know, a lot of us have been through a lot of bad experiences, but as I was going back and looking at one of the experiences that I had been through in my life as a little girl, I realized that I was born to be a defender. So I realized that I was like then, you understand me? And I realized that when we are out here struggling and going through the different things that we're going through and fighting against negativity and our own battles, you have to remember that as we conquer that, there's always the gift. And the gifts, those are things that make us even more lighter as we begin to use the gifts and just leave the negative experience for what it was. If you guys can understand what I'm
You
saying.
know I gotta give you some. Oh, I'm talking about that charged me up. All that charged me up.
It's like I got set free, you know, like another layer. It's like, yeah, thank you for that. I'm serious.
You know,
you are light.
I like to ask this. You know what's the blessing of it? The blessing of it is when I can say that I am an all-powerful being among other people who know that they're all-powerful beings, and we can understand that and see that in unison. That we are part of something that's even greater than us. We just are part and parcel of it.
Yes.
I say. Anybody else want to chime in? Before I go?
Yeah, I like what she had mentioned about having gifts, you know, and as far as the light, I believe that I have light within me, and I believe that the God that created light and the universe is in each of us when we accept light to shine and throughout our lives to each other and share what He's given us as individuals, that we continue to shine that light that He's given us.
Can I give you some? I gotta get some love on that.
That's so beautiful.
Y'all that light that shines.
Yes. Yes.
I say.
We are the light.
You are the light.
Yes. I say.
What is sound? Sound is vibration that travels through the air that can be heard. Language. In physics, sound is a vibration that emits as an acoustic wave through a transmission medium such as gas, liquid, or solids. The air. It vibrates through the air. Sound is created when something vibrates and sends waves of energy, vibrations into your ear, and then it goes in your ear, and then your brain is somewhat like the motherboard of spirituality. Your brain, to me, I like to see the brain is part of the function of the heart that really picks up what our eye and ear senses and mouth senses, what we pick from these senses in this reality to compute, and so we can see what it is. But I really feel our heart really is doing all that other spectrum of the electromagnetic field. And so when we get into the heart, that's when we can start really understanding this field and changing the field at will.
Yes.
Some people say they can control the weather.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I
don't never say you can't, you know, because I want you to, because that means it's shit I can too. I think a little bit. Right? Okay, so the next one. Okay. The power of sound. This is what you were talking about, Shamika. This kind of, when you were talking, they kind of remind me of this. Okay. Everybody know Dr. Masaru Emoto, finding on the power of sound and words spoken over water. It formed crystalline forms like these in the pictures. See those in the pictures. The words, what words are you speaking and what are you listening to? That goes to say, what are you saying to yourself? Are you saying that you're compassionate? Are you saying that I am wisdom? I am thankful? Or are you saying I'm a fool? Man, I'm gonna kill myself. You know, you got to think about these things. You know, because we're water, fire, air, and earth beings. Our main two elements is earth and water. Earth is symbolized as our skin, our tangibleness, and the water is that we're mostly water. So we mostly emotions. So if you telling yourself I hate myself and this and that, then you know that's what it is. You hating on yourself. Don't hate on yourself. Love yourself. And like I always go back to Brother Siddiqui. If I never came to Karash and never wanted to sit in his empowerment training course for like 2 years, and I can't wait till we start doing it again. You know, I wouldn't know. You know, it's just some things people miss. You know, like sometimes people become millionaires. Why? Maybe somebody nudges them on the side and say, try this, try that. You know, and we need more of that. Need more of that. And not so much of being millionaires, is being spiritual as. You know, understanding understanding
I like that.
Yeah, me
understanding the
too.
forces of nature. Spiritual air. I don't know where
Yeah,
it
that's
just
what
popped up.
no, that's a
It just popped up.
yeah, I like that too. And and you know, and I was just gonna say just this, just like if you look at the formation of those crystals, you know, if you're saying something positive or listening something that's higher vibration, how much harmonious the crystals turn out versus something that isn't. So, you know, even speaking that over yourself, but I would just wanted to add that when you take baths, I would just highly recommend, because I do this, to pray over your water and bless the water that you drink and also that you take a bath in before you immerse yourself. So I just wanted to add that in.
Indeed, baby. Indeed. Anybody else want to talk about water,
I
emotion?
wanna I wanna say something about all that. Yeah. Vibrations, because you know, I'm like really, really, really passionate with ASL, American Sign Language, right? And so I've been over the years learning how the deaf community um, operate, for lack of a better word. So they depend on vibration. You
Oh,
have you
You're
have
so
deaf
right.
people. If you see a deaf person without their shoes, they're not being weird. They're feeling the vibration come
Wow.
up through
Mm.
them. They
Wow.
wear earphones, they wear these iPods now that they can actually feel the vibration of what you're saying. And by the movement of your mouth, they can tell what you're saying. Have you ever heard a deaf person talk? They can say the words,
Yeah.
but
It's
yeah.
but they can't speak like us clearly
right.
because they have never heard it. But the
Right.
vibrations are
Yes.
letting them know this is what it is said.
Oh.
Wow.
Shamika,
That's
I love you for that.
powerful.
And also, I apologize for not relaying this message to you. Um, what's his name? Leon. He's looking for somebody to do some translating in LLS on a song. Did you
I
get
got
that?
him.
You got it.
I
Okay.
got him.
I'm glad you got it. My bad.
Wow. Wow, this is
Cause
beautiful.
Thank you for that.
yeah, love you for that.
And and
Go ahead.
then- and with the water thing, have you guys ever did that test where you freeze the water, but before you freeze it, you talk to one and you send it love and I love you, you're amazing, and then you talk to the other glass of water and you say you're ugly, you're miserable, you're nothing, and you freeze them both, and the one that you spoke positive to, the
That's
the
that's
it'll
it.
it'll crystallize beautifully, and the one that you spoke negatively to, it will just look ugly
What?
when
So
it's frozen.
this is an experiment that you did, Shamika?
Yes.
Get out of
Yes,
here.
So
you
you
can find
actually
it
did it.
online. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can see it online where people have done it. I've tried it. And even like before, even if I'm cooking with food, I bless my food and I bless the water that was
yes.
in it that made it. I thank it. Water is amazing. And then you're putting all that in you. You're putting all that positive in you once you've spoken to it. You know?
Yes.
So and that's the same with us.
Gotta give you some.
Yes.
You gotta give you some of that. That's
Yeah.
real talk
And
there.
that's the power of sound.
Power of sound and
I
You
intention,
would
know.
also
vibration,
like to
frequency.
say,
We had Lotus just joined us as well.
Hi,
Hello,
guys.
Lotus.
Hello.
Welcome.
Blessings to all of you guys. So glad to be here today.
Yes, glad you're
Okay.
here. Really.
All right, we're gonna go on to the next slide.
Okay.
Okay, this next slide says, what is frequency? We got two little bubbles over here. High frequency, shorter wavelength, lower frequency, longer wavelength. Okay. Now I got to do a little bit more research on frequencies because it get kind of technical. Now, frequency is a rate that which a vibration occurs that constitutes a wave, either in a material as a sound wave or in an electromagnetic field as in a radio wave and light, usually measured per second. You know? Okay. Frequency, the frequency of a wave is measured as a number of complete back and forth vibrations of a particle of a particle is okay. Okay, yeah, I see what it is. Okay,
Shoot.
it's a vibration of a particle going back and forth.
Right.
That's the frequency, and it's measured with medium per unit of time. So that's a space plus time. That dictates what
Okay,
frequency.
yeah, you need a code though. I'm gonna have to get out of here. Quick. Here, I'll give you the code.
That presents the frequency.
7.
You have to sign it.
Yeah,
Okay. Lotus, could you mute yourself?
you have to sign up. I'll do all of that.
I don't think she can
Maybe
hear
just do
you.
it on the next time.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me see.
Okay.
You done?
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Go. Yes. Frequency.
Go back. Now, frequency is a wave that's measured as a number of complete back and forth vibrations of a particle. How we describe that, what it is a medium per unit of time. Now that's space and time. Understand, see, we're frequency beings. Because why? Now, I don't know if any of y'all really can grab hold of this. We are some of the beings that exist in space and time. That's the third dimension.
Mm.
Now there are many other dimensions, and that's not in space and time. That could be out of space and time. It could be something else. So there's many ways we can look at this. Like all of this study right here is brand new territory. So anybody can go in and continue researching more and more. This is not the final answer. Add to it. Frequency is measured in units in hertz. Okay, like that's when you go on YouTube, you see frequency meditations, 517 hertz, 432 hertz. Music today is I think is at 440, and that's not a human resonance. That's not a natural resonance. That's probably why some people be acting kind of funny. A lot of the music that I listen to, that me and Alicia will try to listen to, is tuned to 432, and that's a totally different thing. What y'all was listening to at the beginning, I don't know their technology, but their technology was dealing with frequency that really opened up my heart and mind, just made me expand. So dealing with frequency, whatever frequency that you want to get with, you just zone into that number. You gotta just know which number you want and whatever you want. If you want to be in love, 432. If you want to get grounded, 517. I can't remember them all, but each frequency sets a certain pace.
Yes.
Okay. So let me. Oh, I'm not in presentation form. Let me go. Let me go. Go.
Okay, cool. 'Cause I can see.
Now, bam.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your frequency? Over here we got the chart. You see that? It's like a funnel. At the top it get expansive. At the bottom is very narrow.
I'm gonna need this.
I'll send it to you.
Now, now we remember that back in the days they say when something is when it's going real quick, that's low vibration, and the high vibration is expanded. Woo, 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 woo. So a lot of times, people kind of got it kind of twisted when they say the narrow way is always the best way.
Mm.
The expansive way could be a little bit better. That way you're taking it all in. You're not putting nothing out. It's not in separatism. So they got the highest level of frequency of a human being will be the frequency of 700. That's enlightenment. And you got 600 peace, joy, love, reason, acceptance, willingness, neutrality, courage, pride, anger, desire, fear, grief. Do you see how it changed? It transformed from. And tell me, where is this medium where it transformed at? Somebody said. What word is it?
Wait, say the question again.
It transforms that courage.
Indeed.
Oh, wow.
Why would you say courage? It'll take a person courageous enough to step out from the mainstream understanding of whatever is going on, to see something new, to see something from their genuine perspective. This is my authentic perspective. That takes courage. So when that courage for you to pull up that low energy that's you, that is you, and pull down that high energy, that is you, put it in your heart, mix that up, then you got compassion, you got oneness, you got everything that this world really needs, in you, by yourself. And then when you get around with other people thinking the same way, it ain't nothing that we cannot do. It's just that we need to set some kind of precedent, some kind of point of reference to where we're gonna go. We can do it, and we're doing it. Point blank. Anybody want to share something about contracted and expanded from alpha point to omega point? Make a comment.
It reminds me of like like when a person is shallow,
Right.
because it's going it's narrowing at the
Narrowing
point.
down
You
to
know what
one
I
point.
mean?
One mind,
Wow.
what do they call that? Single-minded.
Yeah, yeah. So I have a question though. Can somebody skip some of this stuff?
No, all
This
of this is you. All of this is you. The
ah,
shame, you experience shame. You know what it is. That's you. You experience guilt, empathy. You experience all of these. So these are resonances of you. So you don't want to
okay.
take nothing out. You want to bring it all in and see, this is what makes me me. Okay, now I know what makes me me. I see this. And that'll pull you to what that is, because you already took care of yourself. It's like it's really what they call a law of attraction. If you love yourself, I love myself. I'm attract people who love me and who love themselves. And a lot of times when we start this mission on sovereignty of the mind, being compassionate, and taking up the mantle and really pushing forward a new paradigm, you will have opposition, and you will see it and know it, because you're going to be sitting there thinking, I'm bringing light and harmony. Why is it so difficult? Maybe somebody is acting a certain way and not really knowing that they doing this to you because they haven't understand any of these feelings within inside them. They took them out of them. They didn't bring them in. So if a person who's shameful and they take that shame and transmute that shame into something better, you transmute it. That's alchemy. That's what we do. That's Kepra. That's what we do. We do this. So, there you can do anything you want to do, but you got to have your focus, intentions, and repetition behind it. Anybody else like to comment?
I just want to comment that I was really, when I look at desire being at 125 in between fear and anger, a lot of times I feel like we use the word desire, like, oh, I desire to have this, or I desire that.
That's a low frequency.
And right, and just in this moment, I just picked up on that. Go ahead.
Somebody.
No, I was just shocked by that. I didn't know that was. Keep going. I'm just learning.
Yeah, no, well, I'm learning too. And when I look at this cone, those cone candies when we were kids, the little orange and yellow cones, and okay. So I feel like whatever you're resonating most in the moment of a certain situation, it might be more red on it than a little purple. Like you got a solution, but you're still filled with all the guilt and shame. So I feel like this changes, but I guess overall we just have to decide, where we want to be. That's how I really see that. And then I was just thinking this suddenly, like if you have certain situations that in your life, it don't have to necessarily be negative. It could be, I'm trying to start my business and looking at this cone and really seeing where you are in yourself to kind of like, rate yourself for where you're at with certain things. I feel like, cause I could tell like right now, I'm at probably close to love, but I haven't even got the full enlightenment on some things. So this is interesting. So my frequency fluctuates. That's what I'm gonna say. But I try to keep it high.
Yeah. So I wanted to weigh in a minute on this too. That this chart actually comes from, it's sort of derived out of this book called Power versus Force. And what happened is that they arrived at these through muscle testing. Have you ever heard of muscle testing?
Yes.
That's where like you put your arm out there and then somebody pushes your arm. And so one person extends their arm and the other one tries to push it down. So what they found out was that, so they did a lot of testing of a lot of people. And so they found out that when you say the word, like say, grief, or you say something like apathy or something like that, in those lower ranges, then you don't have the strength to resist. Whereas if you say the word courage, then so in other words, these states or these vibrations, anything above from courage above is actually empowering. So in other words, when you're in these vibrations, you're empowered. But when you're in the other lower vibrations, you're weakened. And so actually all of these are degrees of vibration that, weaken you. Yes. So when you're in these areas, you are not strong or not able to resist. And so that's why it takes courage to pull yourself up.
Right.
Wherever you are, and the worst place you could be is when you're in shame of yourself or humiliate. When you feel humiliated and shame. It's funny because I just did a lesson on this on Wednesday. Wow. Yesterday. Wow. So this is just showing you how connection it is, because we all this just show you how we're vibing at the same frequency.
Right. We all talking about
anyway, I just wanted to say that.
That's amazing. The book that you're talking about, wow, that's such a trip.
Yeah, and so when you have to force is when you have to do things on a earthly level, like when you just, force. But power, when you have these upper level vibes, is power. Force is when you have to try to force something or make something happen. But when you get to a certain level, you're vibing. Now you're connecting with something that actually is self-sustaining.
Hey,
okay. You gotta hit the bell.
Man, I got
Yes, I just
you.
wanted to weigh in with that. Thank you guys.
Yeah,
so
I
much.
know. I thank you for that. That's so real. And the only thing I just want to say is, when I think of four, major parts of life that I'm currently dealing with right now, I'm just trying to
If
get
you
my
click on
codes
your
together. That's all
picture,
I'm
if
gonna
you
say.
click on your picture,
You trying to
you
get
know,
what?
if you click
Uh,
on it, a little thing,
Wait,
a tab will come
Lotus,
out where you could
did
put
you
turn
mute
on
your
your.
phone?
Oh, okay.
Did you mute your phone, Lotus?
okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't hear what Delisha last said.
Oh, I said I'm trying to get my cones. Notice I said cones.
There you go.
CONES. I'm using it for separate things. I'm getting my cones together, so they'll
All
be
right.
kind of like on the gray, blue, purple, or
Yeah.
violet level. So that's why I'm getting my cones together.
All right, I got you.
Can I add to that?
Yes.
Okay, so I was listening to a video yesterday, and it was talking on vibrational perspective, but it was saying that we're like a Rubik's cube.
Yeah.
So if each thought affects the pineal gland, just one thought alone will change your entire system, how it's working.
Gotta give you
And
some of that
because each thought
one.
is a vibration, then pretty much any thought that you're having, you're literally doing a whole puzzle to your body when you're doing that. So if you're having a positive thought, your body automatically changes to that. And then if it's continued by a negative thought, then automatically it changes, your whole entire body changes to that. So what happens to water is the same equivalence that would happen to us, because we are made of 90% water. So one thought alone will literally change your whole entire system to respond, to react, to affect every organ in your body. And then if it's followed by a thought that is similar to that, it will continue that pattern until your body automatically begins to vibrate that. Otherwise,
Gotta give you some on that one, Lotus. Come on now.
otherwise, if you're going back and forth with a positive, negative thought, it's like locking the door, unlocking it, locking the door, unlocking it. So the cube, your internal energy never has the potential to continue a specific energy until your whole body is beginning to just be that on a continuous basis. And then the effort is no longer there, then it just becomes. But
Love
that's
that.
my
Give you some love on that. Oh, wow. And Lotus, you really followed up real strong what Reverend Amadi was talking about when he said power and force. That was epiphany to me. I'm like, wait
Yes.
a minute. Force is something that I'm forcing, and power is something I know I can do. I'm forcing my way to do this. Power, I can do what I want. So, not what I want. I can do what's in harmony and what's in
Yes.
flow, right?
Well, you connected with you connected with an expanding process. It's expanding in and of its nature. And so you're connecting with something like what Lotus just said. It becomes effortless.
Effort. That's what I'm talking about. That's auto creation.
Yes.
Right.
Whoa.
It has a lot to do with just conscious living. Can I tell a quick story? So when I was about 22, I started reading books on what you would call under Tibetan Buddhism is being in the moment, right? So if you're eating breakfast, you're literally taking the time to be like, okay, I'm eating a blueberry, and this is how a blueberry tastes, and that little practice eventually gets you to being in the moment. The epiphany I got yesterday from perhaps maybe the last 3 months of what I've been going through is that was effort, what I was doing at 22, because I was sitting down making myself do this routine. Yesterday when I was washing the dishes, I realized that it's not in what you're doing, and it's not in the external. It literally is the thought that you're thinking while you're washing those dishes. Like, yeah, it was, and the thought that you're thinking when you're washing the dishes, there's a connection between your thinking, your body, and the action. And that's when you realize that you're consciously doing something, because all three of them are connected to one another.
Gotta give you some, Lotus. Come on now. You always
But that
bringing
was
that
it. That
Lotus
was
flower. That was nice. Love that. Love that. Anybody else like to share?
I just want to say something. Like she was saying, like being in the moment. Um, I'm still working on focus, so that's not as easy for me. But I get it and I understand because because when I am in the moment, I can remember things. Like she said, you're washing dishes and your thoughts may not be on washing dishes. You might be thinking about something else while you're washing the dishes.
Right.
But whatever it is that I'm thinking about, I can remember it later. You get what I'm saying? Like, say,
Yeah.
for instance, I'm washing the dishes again. Oh, yeah, because I thought about that while I was washing the dishes. So every
Distraction.
time I wash the dishes, I can remember things. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, I got you, saying. Oh, you know that.
Hey, can I say
That is
something?
great.
Can I
Yeah,
say
go for it.
something?
Go for it.
What she did right now was being in the moment. It was effortless. That's what Lotus was talking about. What you just did.
Wait a minute.
You
Wait a minute.
remembered, you connected your thought, your word with what you was doing. It's that
Wait a minute. Wait a
effortless.
minute. We got to get this person some love. We don't even know who this is. Who's speaking?
This is Marcos, man.
Mark, let
This
me
is
give you
great.
some, man. You got to give you some on that one. You got to
Jeez,
give you
man.
some on that one because you know this is what's beautiful about it. Because within this body of people right here, we're pulling each other up. Lotus said
That's
a
right.
statement about being in the moment. Shamika was kind of like, "What is that?" And then Marco, you chime in. You were just doing it, and that
You
can
just
give
doing
her
it. Yeah.
a perspective. Oh, that's how it is. You know, because once we give a person a taste of something, then they understand it. Because you can't explain to me what an apple tastes like if I never ate one.
That's right. Yeah, that's true.
Beautiful,
Mhm.
beautiful. Maybe you muted. Yeah, you're muted.
Okay, okay? Can you hear me now? Okay, no, I just wanted to add this one more thing about what Lotus just spoke, about the thoughts that you have. And I just want to say that I can relate to that so much because when I work in the kitchen, as most of you know, I love to cook and the kitchen is my primal place in the house. I light a candle and it becomes a meditation, reflection on a whole lot of things. So I actually enjoy that moment. So I just want to say thank you. Not that I needed validation, but now I know that I'm doing, this is good. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Hey, hey. Anybody else like to chime in? Moving to the next part.
Okay.
Oh, baby, I like for you to talk on this one because
Oh.
yeah, because when you came up with this graph right here, I'm like, wow, this got everything right there. Right, this is a good graph. Kind of hard to find, but she found it. I'm gonna just open it up, baby. Frequencies,
Okay.
equivalent. What is equivalent?
Oh, equivalent notes.
Notes for chakras. Frequencies,
yes.
Equivalent notes for chakras. Okay, go for it.
Okay, well, okay, this chart here, I can't really see it on my phone because it's so small, but it's a graph, and it's okay. I can just tell everybody what it is. It's a graph that breaks down, every chakra, the note, and the color and that's associated with it. And then also, too, like when you're using tuning forks or bowls or different sound elements, it tells you which chakra attunes to which note and how many hertz is in it. So and then also, it kind of breaks down the intention or the power in listening to music in that particular frequency. It could be to actually make a transformation or for grounding or for change. And so I'm happy to share this with everybody if you're interested in it, but it kind of breaks down like whatever it is that you need to shift or change, it tells you which chakra and which hertz that falls under and what color it is.
That's great, baby. I'm gonna say, go ahead.
Ray, I got a question for you. Right? Can you simulate those frequencies with the bowls that you use? You know what I'm talking about?
These bows you talking
Yeah,
about?
those.
Okay, yeah.
Cause I was,
A lot.
I,
I can say this though. Let me say something to you. Okay, when I bought these bows, I bought the bows, and then you would need to on your phone download an app that tells you the frequency of that bow. And I noticed I got two of the same one, and I noticed that it is okay like 432. Then sometimes it may say uh 433 or 431. It's not exactly at that tone, but it's somewhere by it. So if you ever gonna get some bows, make sure you get an app, and then when you purchase your bow, test it out, hit it, and put it on there, and then you'll know that's the resonance, that's the frequency that I want. But yeah, I can show you a link to that app, and I can do all my bows and find out. Cause
yeah, we need to
I
get
don't
that 432 back out there, man.
that yeah, that
Yes.
432 is a hard frequency.
Yes.
It's a hard
Yeah,
frequency.
yeah.
You
They
know,
took that out intentionally.
indeed
Yes.
they did.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this: somebody know something about us that they don't want us to know about ourselves.
That's true.
Get
I
that?
agree with you.
They know something about you, but they don't want you to know it. So they hide it in plain sight. They say that it's
Ah,
satanic. They say that, that's voodoo. That's this. That's that. But and from my research that I done been researching, everything started in Black and African Central spirituality. It all came from that. It all came from that continent. Either either Kemet, Mesopotamia, uh, 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 Dogons, Zulus, they all were speaking the same language until somebody came in and took the power, and then seeing that it's very powerful, and then fabricated it some way so they can gain power over the people. Because we are people of the planet. We're connected to the planet. So if they can get us to stop connected to the planet, we'll be lost. Why do you think they got us wearing tennis shoes with rubber?
mm,
Think about that. And why, when you
yes.
take off your shoes, the grass, you feel so good. You got to be experimenting and do it like it's great. Anybody else like to chime in on this one before I go to the next one?
I had a question for Delisha.
Yes.
Is it possible to get this chart? Because I think it would be very
Absolutely.
useful.
Who
Yeah,
has
I would like to
Absolutely.
get this chart.
Hey, one
Yeah.
minute. Whoever have a dog, could y'all mute y'all phone? Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. I definitely will send this to you. And
Thank
before you
you.
go to my pleasure. And just before you go to the next slide, I just want to emphasize this. For anybody that's interested in this particular chart, I'm happy to send it to you. But also, you can go on YouTube and you can find different music in these hertz when you see the intention in which each area represents and what it helps you heal with. So it's kind of like the Huso equipment that we bought, because I'm sure that there's a lot of all of these different points in the sound frequency to actually allow
Wonderful.
the change to come forth. So I mean, I just want to say that this chart is really a good guider for whatever it could be that you're looking to do in your body and yourself. That's all.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, that's helpful. This is good stuff.
Yes.
Also, I want to add this too. Everything that you see up here is not written in stone. Because we all know that the heart frequency is 432. They got 639. So maybe we need to research what 639 means. And so don't ever think that somebody say 432 is heart, and then somebody say 639 is heart, and they say no, it's not. It may be a different aspect of the heart. Remember, the
Right.
heart
Oh,
got
Yeah.
more radiance than the brain. So
Right.
you see, all right, you can see right here from orange is 417, all the way from 17 to 639. You're dealing with the heart and the lower chakras, the lower two chakras, the first two of the lower chakras, not the bottom
Mhm.
chakra. So it's like 17 is starting at that heart rate, that heart frequency. Because if you look, all right, let's break it down like this. That 339 and 396 is all about fight or flight, survival.
Mhm.
That's it. That's it. You're gonna stand and fight or you're gonna run, right? And you're gonna make sure your home is there. You'll make sure you got your food and things like that. That's in that frequency. And then when you get out of that frequency, you come into awareness of self, of the orange. Orange is your creativity of who you are, your sexuality, your reproductive system, and you get a now you really kind of figuring out what love could be about, because you really figuring out that hey, I'm here, I'm surviving, and then you grow up and say, oh, now I know how to make sure I got my food and I got my content and I got everything what I want. Now you're in a part. Now I can sit back and observe who I am and what I'm doing. That's a step of creativity. And when you sit and understanding creativity and who you are, you run into that willpower, that yellow, that gold, that transmute, that red and that orange into green. And
Yeah.
that's when you combine that lower energy with that higher energy.
Yes.
That's just something that I came up to say to put this together. But it can be any way,
Yes.
however you want to. Just as long as it's in balance. And don't be so hard saying that. Okay, this say 639. They saying 432. What is it? That's when you do your research and find out what your intellect says what it is and how what you let come into your eye
May I,
gaze and ear gaze.
may I
Right.
add to that?
Yeah.
I actually started doing work like that probably, I would say it's been a year now. And the way I figured it out was I researched the emotion rather than the number.
Yeah.
So anything that I was feeling, see, I didn't know about numbers. I didn't know about the hertz. I had an idea of it, but I didn't like really, went and researched it. The way I figured it out was pretty much someone told me about binaural beats.
Right.
And then pretty much after that, I just thought, well, what am I feeling right now? What is it that I would like to heal right now?
Mm-hmm.
And I would just type in like vibrational healing tunes, and then I would type in the emotion for
Right.
YouTube. And then that in itself would direct me to all the numbers that are congruent with that emotion. So just in case you don't know the numbers and you're trying to figure it out, sometimes the research just makes it more of a tedious thing than something that you want to heal at that very moment. So
Mm-hmm.
if you don't know the numbers, go with what you're feeling at that moment, and whatever emotion you're having at that moment, type it in with binaural beats, or you could even do affirmation binaural beats, and it will come up and it will give you the numbers, and that's how I figured it out.
There you go.
Just wanted to add to that.
You gotta give you some love when somebody brings some first-hand experience. Hey, this is what I did and I found this out. Now it's up to us to pick to what she said and pick out some pieces that can apply to us.
Yes.
Omniscience.
Yes.
What
Can
is by
can I say something?
what? Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. This is good. So, you know,
I have one too, Shamika, just so you know. I just been saying thank you.
you know how if you ever sat in church and listened to somebody preach, how you feel when you feel like they talking to you or about
Yes.
you?
Yeah,
How I
that
feel
too.
right now.
Yeah.
Every
Oh,
single thing that everybody is saying right now is like, where they at? How they know? You know?
we are
You know,
one.
I'm feeling it, and with that being said, if possible, can I have this whole thing? Can you send me the PowerPoint? Because I want to study. I want to study this. This is so good.
All right. I got you. Anybody else? You want it?
Yes, me.
Hit me up and I'll send it to you guys.
Okay, I just had one thing I wanted to add though. Just in terms of like looking up the different frequencies or emotions, like Lotus said. And the only thing I want to say, and I hope this isn't bold, but I just felt led to say it. Like if you're really feeling anger and hurt, if you're looking up these type of music, go ahead and listen to the sounds that resonate what you're feeling. Because sometimes when you try to skip over, so I'm just going to go to the crown, you know, and sometimes you need to cry, and you need, and it sometimes those waves, that sound, it needs to pull up deep down the root of what that is. So don't feel like you're not enlightened or I'm in love. I'm love. I know I'm love. If you're feeling like I'm down right now and I got a root issue, roll with the root, with that emotion, like what she's saying, because it's so real. Because then that other stuff is going to get on your nerves, and then it's going to be a wasted effort. So I just wanted to just my own personal journey. I've lived with this for years, with these sounds and binaural beats and everything. So I you know, and sometimes going low is good for you, even if you're feeling high, because there's a little residue and debris of other things that I don't like how that ended, or I don't like where that's at, although I'm in a higher state of mind at the moment. So just really be truthful to yourself. No one ever has to know. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I want to add something based on what you just said, Delisha. And that is that, you know, the purpose of these emotions, you know, they could say, like, you know, we could label them as negative or whatever, but their really purpose is for you, what they're really calling for you just to acknowledge them, you know, to be aware, to be present with them. You know, not to judge it as good or bad, just be present. And what happens is that when you're present to an emotion, like what you just said, Delisha, then you can receive the gift of that emotion, which is the empowerment, you know, when you speak your words of healing, your heka, your authoritative word, your word of power is empowered by those emotions. And so there's no really bad emotion, you know, it's just that we judge them and we interpret them as being bad, and then we start feeling guilty for feeling that way. So, you know, I was, when you said it, it made me think about this, Delisha. And we just really, all the emotion is really saying is just acknowledge me. Right. Just be present with me. And then I'll give you my gift. And then I'll give you my gift.
You know, and you can move on.
Listen,
it's time to get my combs together.
If I may add,
yes.
Okay, we lost you.
Because hello?
Yeah, we lost you at first. Start over.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, so back to what the gentleman was saying. I'm sorry, I don't. Amadi, hi. Okay, so what he was saying is the acknowledgement. I think it's just that. It's if there's no acknowledgement, then it's sort of your, you know, it's like taking your bills and putting them under your under your rug, right? What happens after a while? Yeah. So the moment each emotion is acknowledged, then you can move on. Otherwise, it's just there constantly, stagnating and just rotting and dying for acknowledgement. And emotions like that is what decays your body, is what decays.
Yes.
So no one, no, I personally, I'm not asking to be validated. But when emotions are there, the acknowledgement of them heals it. Just that in itself, it's a healing communication that you have, not only with yourself but with others. And so when you do that, that healing allows you to move on to the next emotion and the next emotion and the next one. Otherwise,
there's the ladder. On that one.
There it is.
You woke us up to Jacob's ladder.
That's right.
Ashe?
I'm like,
There you go.
I love that.
And that's just the bottom line, I think. So, you know, as we all are here to heal, it's, You know, give
Yeah.
yourselves that acknowledgement. And if someone is asking, you know, can you acknowledge this right now? You know, allow yourself to give them that, because that's a gift you're giving to yourself.
Right.
Yes.
You know, you're not doing that to please the other person. You're simply doing it to acknowledge it also, that it is in you.
To
You
ask
might not,
Yes.
you might not have it at that moment. You might not be part of that at that moment, but at
Mm.
some point in this lifetime, that is an experience that you will also have to go through.
Yes.
And perhaps in acknowledging it, you won't have to go through it.
Indeed.
Mm.
So
Mm. That's
that's what I
that's
see.
Level,
oh my gosh.
You,
See what you started, Delisha? See, you
And
started.
listen, the chart got it going on. And so wait, I'm ready to graduate, y'all. I'm ready to graduate. I'm serious, because you know what? This is about a really initiation and rites of passage within the self, you know, to undergo all of this. And even like what you're saying, Lotus, like, you know, acknowledge you may not even have to go through it. And maybe part of the reason many of us have gotten stuck in situations or in being in the red or the orange for so long is because we haven't really gone and taken the test to pass the class so we can move on. So I feel like that was a nugget of liberation. And then, you know, not having to spend so much time in one area when you can move on. So I feel grateful in this moment, really. Wow. Thank you. Ashe.
Me too. Yes,
Aw.
yes, yes, yes.
hey,
Yeah.
I'm
Good.
too much
Look
right
at it
now.
like
I
this.
gotta take that. That's why I said I need this PowerPoint, because I wanna. Oh, this is so good. Can I just say one more thing? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love it.
I always all my life always said that I'm real, I'm true to myself, I'm this, I'm that. And now I'm realizing that no, you wasn't. No, you're
Yes.
not. Like
Tell the truth.
That's
I
beautiful.
do
Tell the truth.
conform. I
Tell the
do
truth.
conform to
Love
certain
you for that.
situations where, and oh my God, I got some work to do.
Right.
Yes.
That's when you know you're making
Yes.
progress. Because, you know, you got to look at yourself, not no one else. Look at yourself from yesterday. I got to be better the next day. You know,
Yes.
that's great. You know, I wanted to add something about acknowledgement. You know, we got to acknowledge these emotions. Okay, and then here's another thing. A lot of people, they tend to see these numbers 333, 444.
All
Same
day.
thing. When you notice these numbers, just acknowledge it. I see that.
Yes.
I see that. Yeah. Oh, I see that again. And sooner or later it'll work itself and give you something about it. Why you was meant to see that at that time. You know,
Getting lined up.
get lined up
Mm-hmm.
to go up that
When you
ladder.
see a number all the time, like multiple times all the time,
Mm-hmm.
does that mean something? Are you missing
Yes.
something?
Yeah, that's okay. That's what I was talking about, Shanice. Like if you see numbers, certain numbers, don't flip out anything. Just, oh, I acknowledge it. I see that. I'm seeing 444. What does that really mean to you? Then go on about your day. Then if you see it again, oh, I see that. I see 444 again. What does that mean today? Some running down the line, you're gonna say that again, and then you're gonna look back. You're gonna say, every time I seen 444, I was at a point that I was making through with some breakthrough. I was on the
Mhm.
front line of setting a standard of doing something.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
how you'll find out what they mean to you. They may mean something else to someone else.
Right.
Varies, but you know that's why it should be a circle where you can talk about it and no one ain't gonna pull you down about what you think and
What you
nothing
mean you
because
see
I
them
think
numbers
this.
all day?
Huh?
I said people say like, what are you talking about? Seeing same numbers all day. You know, thought people get kind of weird if that hasn't happened to them.
So can I add to that? You guys are hitting some spots that I've been doing. I've been working on those things.
Connecting the
So
dots.
yeah, so
Yes.
in the last 3 weeks, the last 3 weeks, I started doing that. I started looking those numbers up.
Mm.
You know, there's certain numbers, for example, 1214, which is the beginning, my month and my day of my birthday. I see those at least about maybe 7 times every day. Every
Wow.
day. Like it's like just right on the dot constantly. And then just other numbers. And then recently I've just been somewhat curious of what these numbers mean. And so I started going on Google and just researching the numbers. And it definitely does give you like, it's like a sort of like a friend telling you keep going, you're going the right direction.
Yes.
You know, it's like an affirmation. It's just like the universe, like what I posted on Facebook. You know, we were driving and Marcos and I think, were talking about love, and all of a sudden we see this car with I love you on it.
Bam. That's what we're talking about.
You know.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
And then we went to a we went to a laundromat that the name was Love Laundry, you know, and so
What?
yes. So
Wow.
just little symbols like that constantly keep coming up, that the universe is talking to you, and numbers is a big one. So if you do find yourself seeing the same numbers on a continuous basis, definitely look it up and see what it's telling you, and then relate it to what you're going through at that moment only. Not the past or anything, but just at that moment only, related to what's going on at that moment only. And then it'll give you some type of either affirmation, or it'll give you some type of like a new idea, a new view. So just wanted to add to that.
I
That's
say,
so real.
Hey, this is a good presentation. This is good.
You guys should also research the number 9.
Oh yeah.
9 is in everything that you see. It's in the spirals of the galaxy, fingertips in your hand. You'll find the number 9.
Yep.
So research that. You guys find it interesting.
Number 9. Okay, that's cool.
9 is 9 is.
Our ancestors called it meant completion.
Yes.
It used to be a symbol of a pregnant woman further back.
Oh boy.
Yeah, check out 9. It's interesting.
Yeah, indeed.
I want to do that.
Anybody else want to go in? Let's go to the next slide. What is vibration? To vibrate is to cause something to move rhythmically and steadily to a form, to and from, to swing or isolate, movement, motion, a change of position that does not entail a change of location. That's a vibration. Vibration is a person's emotional state, the atmosphere of a place or association with an object, as communicated to and felt by others. That's the vibration, your feeling. Your vibration is a direct reflection of your inner thoughts, feelings, beliefs, choices, and words. How well you take care of yourself, the earth, and others. The higher vibration determines your light, more light you hold. The faster the light particles vibrate, the higher your consciousness is, and the stronger you are connected to your soul and your God self. This is something we picked up on from awakening people. Einstein says everything in life is vibration. Everything in life is vibration. Okay, wait a minute. Here we go. Ways to raise your vibration. Okay, right here it says ways to raise your vibration. You got a high vibration, you got a low vibration. I want to see myself over here in this high vibration. See all that gold, that egg around me, my electronic circle, and the power of the light that's protecting me within my electronic circle. That is there.
Yes.
This one is here. There are some issues. Some things that well, that's just what it is. There are some things that haven't been worked out. Who knows what it is, but there's some things.
Something going on.
When I see that low vibration, what comes to my mind is you're giving your light away.
You know what, Shamika?
Oh, I love that.
Check this out, Shamika. You are so right. Now look at the image. Look at this image over here. The light is within the the edge, the
Uh-huh.
electronic circle. Look at
Mhm.
this light,
Mhm.
giving it out,
It's escaping. Yeah.
escaping. It's fragmented.
Yes, it is fragmented.
Mhm.
Wow. Thanks for that, Shmita.
Mhm.
Hey,
Okay,
that's your atmosphere, just like the planets and the moon and stars.
wait a minute.
It's
Wait.
your
You need
atmosphere.
some on that one. It's we are the planets and the stars.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what we are. We working like a clock with the universe.
Yes.
Clock. Okay. Oh, now I got two sides: raising your vibration, lowering your vibration. Now these are the things that raise your vibration. Again, it deals with food and mindsets and feelings. All right. I'm gonna just go through some of them. Okay, raising your vibration: green leafy food, figs, raisins, watermelon, dandelion. Then getting grounded, laughing, smiling, passion, sunshine,
Yay.
walking to the beach, or just walking. Yoga, classic and relaxing music, burning lavender oil,
Forgiveness. Forgiveness.
forgiveness,
Forgiveness. Oh
gratitude,
Lord.
love, joy. These things that can raise your vibration. If you write these things down and try to keep all of these in your day, I think you'll be looking like this dude over here with this high vibration. This one over here with the high vibration. You're gonna be looking like that. Now,
Yeah.
lower vibration, that hard alcohol, junk food, toxic relationship, toxic thoughts, toxic all that old stuff. You got white sugar,
Instant, instant gratification.
instant
Instant,
gratification,
yeah,
Oh,
instant
that's a good one.
gratification.
instant gratification.
Give me that
Oh,
right now.
Evan.
Holding on to anger, holding on to the past, you know, uh, struck, stuck in emotions such as anger, resentment, and guilt. You're doing nothing but hurting yourself. You gotta let it go. It's all about releasing, cause it's in your muscle. It tense up in your muscle, and that's
Oh
how when we relax, we
Lord.
breathe.
Oh Lord.
You tense up your muscles and letting it go. You gotta mentally see
Mm.
and
Mm.
coordinate that.
Mm.
I'm breathing in divine love and light, and feel that charging you up. I'm releasing all the pain and suffering. Ah, I know I do crazy. I'm very animated, and it makes me laugh, and it works for me. You know, and it
May
works
I
for me. Yeah.
may I add may I add something to all this?
Yes.
So I'm gonna expand this just a little bit. Bear with me for a
Come on
moment.
All right. We're connecting dots.
Okay.
with it.
So the way I see it is that there is no high or low vibration. All there is just vibration.
Indeed.
And what I mean with that is, yes, there are emotions that will take you in one direction, and there are emotions that will take you in the other direction.
Mhm.
Regardless of the direction in which you're choosing to go, the end result as vibrational human beings is to reconnect ourselves to the light, to our higher selves in the land of the living.
Yeah.
Therefore, regardless if you go in the direction of anger, regardless if you go in the direction of love, what the universe understands just one thing is how much are you giving it all? Are you giving it your all?
Mm.
Because regardless if you're giving anger and you're giving it all, like 100% of all that anger, and it's just coming through, you will become enlightened. That's just the way it is. That's just the law
I agree with that. I
of the
understand.
way it's gonna go through.
Right.
I understand from the perspective also of starting points. Like this is a good starting point to know yourself and how to know yourself and how to get untangled with the mind thoughts that we've created. But overall, the way I see it is that there is no high or low vibration.
Mhm.
The universe, what it understands is simply, are you giving it your all? And if you are, eventually you will become realized.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But that I just
Okay.
wanted to add to that.
that's great.
That's really
That's
that's great.
that's one of my first teachings that I learned while I was in prison, and I haven't spoke about it too much, but yeah, that vibration. There are two paths to enlightenment. One is path service of others, and the other is the service of self. Wherever way
Mm.
you go, you're gonna end up to creation. All right. For an example, in order for me to
Brother Ray,
yes, go ahead.
I want to ask Sister Lotus a question because um, I heard you say, Lotus, that you don't feel that there is a high or a low vibration. So my question is, what is to be said of a feeling? When I'm feeling good. So, for example, when I'm feeling good, I notice that the things that I desire to happen to me during the day actually begin to happen. When I'm not feeling very well, I notice that some unpleasantries may begin to happen. I may get somebody on the phone that sound crazy. I may be walking the dog and somebody's saying something crazy. It's like, so how are you um, matching that with your vibration? That's my question.
The way I see it is there's only one person inside of you, and that's just you. There's nothing really on the outside that's happening. If we're angry, it's only happening on the inside. It's not happening on the outside. If we're happy, it's only happening on the inside. It's not happening on the outside. Those are just labels that we've placed to perhaps
Maneuver.
make us feel better about ourselves.
Right.
The way I see it is, if you find yourself being in a place of harmony, then you go ahead and keep doing that, whatever it is that's bringing you to that. If you're in a moment, if you're in a state of anger, you go through that too. I mean, that in itself is also expansion, right? That in itself is also knowing this anger. If you constantly stop your anger, how are you going to know what your anger really is?
Right.
And yes, facing that part is definitely, most of us don't want to face those parts. So we want to go with the love and the happiness, but those are outcomes. Love is just something we do. It's not an action. It's something that you just are. And because you are, you cultivate that. And how do you cultivate those things? By doing the things that make you feel love for your own surroundings, love for your own self. So whatever it is that you're doing that takes you to that place of harmony within, then those are the things that you go ahead and do. At least that's the way I see it. I think the biggest thing for me is that whatever is happening is only happening inside of me. It's not happening outside.
Yeah, I see.
Mhm.
I see.
Did I answer your question properly, or did I?
Well, no, I 100% get it. I get exactly what you're saying, and I actually do agree that this is an internal job. This is an internal
Right.
job that you have to do daily. That it's a choice to feel well. It's a choice to feel happiness. And like you're saying, when something is a dis-ease for you, stay in tune with that, because you need to release that toxicity.
Mm-hmm. And question it. Question why it's there.
Gotta get some
Talk
love
to
on that.
it. You know, it's when
Yeah.
that comes through, question it. Say, why are you here?
Yeah.
What is going on? Why are you representing yourself to me?
Love on that one.
Because pretty much the way I see it, our thoughts is the universe speaking to us. It's whether we want to let a thought in our system or not is up to us. They're just there knocking. Are we going to let them in or not? And a lot of times we just sort of let all of them in. And that's why we're so sporadic and all over the place. But conscious living is you question every thought that comes in. You know, if it's a thought that makes you feel good, there's no questioning because there is no stagnation to the actions. You're flowing.
Right.
The moment you feel stagnation, that's when you begin to question what is going on, like the thoughts that are coming through. Question every single one of them, and not the why. Not why is this happening? No, what are you doing here? Who are you? What's all this about? And believe it or not, that's the acknowledgement to that vibration. The moment you do that, it will answer for itself and it will dissipate and go back into its natural form, which is love.
Ashe.
I want to interject something as well. You know, I think what we're talking about here is perhaps what we might look at as the paradox of life.
Yeah,
We're kind of talking about the principle of polarity. You know, nothing exists without its opposite. So it's not either or. It's this and that. So I think that, you know, there's no set formula. I think that we have to follow your inner guidance. And I think that you have to. But the scriptures in is Ecclesiastes. It's one of those scriptures that says that whatever you do it with all your might. He was saying that what is the end of wisdom? He said because, you know, wise people die young and fools live long sometimes. So who's to say what's the best thing to do? He says, you know, but when it comes to the end of everything, basically just give your fullness of who you are to life. Just give all that you have. And so I feel that, you know, basically, you know, if we trust our inner spirit, because sometimes we're ready for one thing at one stage, and then at another stage, you know, we expand it to something else. Yeah. So I think the bottom line is that I just don't think it's a set formula. I think that, you know, the formula is to follow what your inner spirit is leading you to do, and then do it with all your heart. Put your spirit into what you do, and you won't go wrong.
Gotta give you some.
May I add to that?
Yeah.
May I add to that?
Yeah.
I really like that. If I may add to it, you said the word life, and it's almost as if you have this word life, and there's a bag in it, and you have to fill it up with life. You're filling it up with life. It's not just showing up all full, ready to be lived. It's you're putting life into it, into whatever this is. You're the one that's, I don't want to say creating. I mean, you're the one that's giving it your all. Like you said, is living life, but you're giving life to it. You're giving life to life. If that makes any sense.
It makes sense, yeah.
Makes sense. You know, I like to give a shout out to David Wolf, Mr. Avocado Man, for coming up with these vibrations right here. Because he indeed sparked some vibration in us. And yeah, anybody else want to chime in on that one? I'm going to next slide.
I just have one last thing to say. I don't want to say it's minor. But I think the overall point is that we know when we feel high and we feel good, and we know when we feel low and don't feel so well. And, you know, and I feel like we're aware of this. And I think it's just a matter of what you decide how it's going to go. Because I'll say I've met people who have serious depression, or people who are really, I'm going to say, living a life, in my opinion, that's a low vibration. And they don't even realize that they're there, because that's really, they've embraced who they are, and they still get the wisdom and all of that too. I completely agree with it. But I also do believe in fragmentation of your soul. What happens over time when you're kind of like having stabilized and rooted yourself to become this tree of whatever it is that you're supposed to grow. And it's sometimes hard to get all your parts back together to really, I want to say, at least exist in neutrality or higher vibration. And I agree with you, Lotus, right? The vibration it is what it is. I mean, and that's really, and it's not, and I'm with Reverend, there's no right or wrong way to address it. But I think the awareness of knowing I need to higher my vibration, or I need to tone this down. Just that awareness of you being the alchemist and the co-creator of yourself being your God. You are God, goddesses, and really morphing into what you desire to be in every situation. So I think it's just that we have more power to shift our reality. And I think for me, that's what I really take about raising your vibration or neutralizing your vibration or even lowering it. Because sometimes some people are so high, they actually are a pain in the ass. And
they're
then,
no
you know,
earthly good.
yeah, you know, that they're pain in the ass because they feel like, oh, you know, oh, I'm just so full of light. But yeah, but now
You're no earthly good.
you know, it's like, right. And I'm like, I got to put shades on to be around you because I feel like I can't even express. I'm pissed off right now and I want to fuck somebody up. I can't say that because you're so high and I feel like I can't be myself. So, you know, so it's a balance with all of this stuff too. So it's just food for thought. That's all. I was keeping it real.
Real, sister.
Ashe.
We can count on you for that. We can count on you for that.
You know what? Okay. You know I'm going to tell the truth. You know I'm going to tell the truth.
Yeah.
You know,
in love. In love.
Right.
You know, this last page kind of sums up everything we just talked about. Focus conscious intention to shift your vibration, paradigm, and reality. Right here, I got energy, light, mental, sound, frequency, vibration, correspondence, cause and effect, polarity, gender, and rhythm. You know, just for the sake of argument, all those words are the formulas of the universe that makes up everything that we are. So we all know that we are all this light and sound and intention and consciousness, and we understand that our attention can collapse a proton, can collapse a wave into a proton and make it manifest. Okay, so I came up with 6 words to manifest that. You know, love is the first one. You gotta love yourself. Truly love yourself. And when you truly love yourself, you'll go on to having wisdom about your love of self and the love of everything else. And when you have that wisdom, thoughts will arise. You see, I got wisdoms with an S. I got thoughts with an S. But I got love being single from oneness. But from that one, many comes. So that love brings you wisdoms. And that wisdom brings you thoughts. And in them thoughts, you gain focus on them thoughts. Get focus. And from that focus, you derive with some kind of intention. And from your intentions, you create a process. And from that process, you envision this thing or whatever it may be. You envision it. And from that envision, you find out there are many purposes for you to be here. And it starts all over when I say at the end with cycles. And that cycle is basically refining that process you did the first time and doing it better the second time. You know, so I just want to come up with a little bit of formula, and you can break it down in many ways: focus, love, vision, wisdom, intention, purpose, thought, process, cycles. Either way, you know, it's just something I want to throw out there. Maybe somebody.
Well, you said you was gonna give us. You said you was gonna give us 6. That's 9 words.
What?
Okay, Minister Marty, I said the same thing. I said, well, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to take it.
Just messing with you. I love it. I love it.
I meant to say 9. I meant to say
did
9.
not say that 9's and everything.
Right.
9 is
Yeah,
in everything.
You did.
9 is in everything.
Hey, y'all. Hey, I'm going to give some love on that one. Because, see, I meant to say 9 because I was going to say Marco. You were just talking about it. So I got these 9 words for you. And it worked out for the better anyway. So, you know, y'all can just take
It's complete. It's complete.
It's complete.
Yeah.
It's complete. It's complete.
Oh my goodness.
You know, anybody want to comment on this slide here? Just say something about it. What do you get from it? I'm gonna say this on the side where it says energy and light. I put energy, light, and frequency in there. But if you look between energy, light, and frequency and sound, you'll see mental, vibration, correspondence, cause and effect, polarity, rhythm, and gender. Those are the 7 axioms of the universe with Lord Tahuti, Thoth, and Hermes Trust Resistance talked about. You know, the foundation of all life and reality. So from that, if we use it in a formula, something like this, or create your own way for what you want, you know, you can't go wrong. Cause like we all said, you go by what your intentions, what your body is telling you to do. We just here to throw out different formats or templates, you know, and then you put what you want in it and you recreate yourself with it.
I love it. I say.
Comment?
Well, that was a really nice, this was a very powerful, wonderful presentation, Brother Ray.
Thank you.
You know, and, you know, I really appreciated a lot of the insights that Lotus brought forth and so many others. So this is just a wonderful, fun, delightful time for us to be together and connect the dots. I'll just say that.
I say.
And one thing, this one, we got through the PowerPoint at 8:36, 8:26. So we did that kind of quick.
Yeah.
Hey, we can open up for discussion or talk. Anybody want to say something about something?
Actually, I want to say something about, if you go back to that slide with your information on there, the 9, you know, when I see those, they're obviously they're all interconnected, but I also saw that something to actually dive a little deeper into for me personally, and understanding the love, the wisdom, and thoughts, and then focus, intention, and processes, and really understand the depth of what that is in planning this next, I want to say, birth of purpose and vision. And I just feel like this is a really good tool, you know, to really be able to figure out what do I need to focus on, and then your intentions and your inner work, and then the processes that need to happen to actually navigate that thing to be birthed out, you know. And I think a lot of times our visions are so big inside, we carry so much of it, but some things actually need to be written down like a roadmap, so that way that the things can start coming into full fruition, so that cycles aren't repeated. So when I'm seeing this, it's just all of a sudden, I got like a download, and I really appreciate this. And even when I look at energy, like, you know, mental sound, you know, frequency, vibration, and even in the creation process, you know, what is it that I'm creating, and what vibration and frequency do I want to set this at, and my intention. And so I feel like going forward that I will plan and work on projects and stuff in a different mindset just from seeing this right now. And like when I create this, what is the cause? Why do I want to create this? And what is the effect is it going to have on those who come into contact with it, whether it be a teaching, a product, you know, or a service, you know, and then planning out the polarity, the gender, the rhythm of it, you know, and maybe even listening to rhythms and certain different elements to actually allow the creation to come forth in a more magnificent way. So I feel like this sort of expanded my way of thinking as far as creating everything that I create. So I thank you.
I would
Yeah,
love
right.
that. 'Cause, damn, that was nice. Hey, you opened up my eyes to something like, oh.
And these are also oracle cards, also like love, wisdom, thoughts, focus, intention. And because I do read, I'm a reader, you know, and I told you I'm in the process, so you guys know, I'm in the process of trying to put together an oracle deck that I'm going to create. And I feel like this right here, the 9 is going to be incorporated into it. Thank you.
Hey, can I point some? Can I show you guys something?
Yes, sir.
If you look at what Ray's showing, all right, you see the love, wisdom, thought, that equals up to 9. And if you look at these sentences, I guess it's 9 sentences. From focus, conscious, that's 1. Vibration, paradigm, that's 2. Energy, light, that's 3. If you count the lines, that's 9.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
See, that's what I look for as far as connection. 9 resonates.
That's bad.
You see what I'm saying?
That's deep. Wait.
All right, brother.
Wait.
I'm like, that's bad.
See, that proves your principle. Proved your principle right there.
Yeah. Let me give you some love with that. And then I gotta ask you, repeat that so I can get that again. Cause I'm like, oh, You say 3, and I say, I'm seeing all this.
I said 9 resonates in everything. And that's why I
Mhm.
see that if I'm doing something correct within me, I'll see the connections. Like
Yes.
if I look at your chart, it's you have love, wisdom, thoughts, focus, intention. That equals up to 9. And if you look up the brackets that you used from focus, conscious, intentions, that's 1. Vibrations, paradigms of reality, that's 2. If you count down, all that equals up to 9. You have 9.
All the lines that you, all the
All the
lines,
lines.
all the
Yeah.
You
lines is
count the
9.
lines.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you count the lines, it's 9 too. So that's just, it's just so for me, that shows me the connections. Okay, maybe I'm on a good journey there.
So
These
may
are
I
the
add to
sites.
that?
Yes.
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 So can I add to that?
Of course.
Okay, so here we go. And let me add to this. The 9 in my life has become a big number as well. And when I see this chart that Ray has created, I went to the other direction. I'll be honest with all of you. I used what is called, or what you can define as crazy wisdom,
I like that.
I love
which
it.
is
Okay, give some love for that one. Crazy
Yeah.
wisdom.
which is the complete opposite of what all of you would consider to be love. I went with the anger, I went with the jealousy, I went with all of that. And I went with it for 9 years, and it stopped on the 9th, on the month of the 6th. And through that process, I can look at what the Ray is doing, and I can see how I'm entering into that process from a conscious perspective, from a conscious level.
Wow.
The work that I did in the 9 years, I gave it my all. When I say I was angry, I was angry. When I say I was jealous, I was jealous. I gave it my all, and the universe heard that.
Yes.
It didn't hear anything else but that. And in the process of those 9 years, it turned itself inside out. It's as almost, I was so fragmented to the point to where the darkness just came through. And in that coming through, the wholeness just became. And so that's my experience with 9. In the past 6 months, the 9 has showed up in my life, not in numbers and not in symbols, but in how I have processed within myself and have now turned myself into another dimension, if I may say that.
Yes.
Ashe.
Create your own dimension, your own
Ashe.
reality.
Yes.
Indeed.
Right.
Indeed,
That's
right.
it.
Wow. Wow. That's
Anybody
so
else
beautiful.
want to chime in on this? You know,
Well, I'll add to just say that this whole template that you put down of love, wisdom, thoughts, focus, attention, processes, visions, purposes, and cycles, I really do see a logical flow in it. And so I want to just say that I'm confirming, I just want to I want to confirm, the validity of what you shared tonight to show that I find no, I want to just say, for whatever it's worth, I find no fault in it.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you,
Okay.
Lonnie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love, man. Thank
Wow.
you. Thank you.
That's so powerful and beautiful. It really is.
Hey, listen, y'all. Oh, come on. In closing, I really do want, I want to go out with a bang. And I think that meditation, that sound that we heard,
Yes.
I really did dig that.
I did too.
And let's just right now, set some intentions, what you want tomorrow or today or whatever. Just think about it right now and do the breathing exercise, and then start breathing through your nose. You know, because when it's a good possibility when you start when you do that, when you do that, you will there you go. You will gravitate that towards you. Indeed, you will gravitate that towards you. And when you gravitating something towards you, you're making it more easier for it to happen because it's right there and you see it, you feel it, you're vibrating with it at the same time. You know, you got love in your heart, you got joy, your laughter. So you sending all this energy out with also with your intention. Your energy is the fuel. Your intention is the message. Or you can say
Mm.
your energy is the car and your intention is the person in the car or your destination.
Okay.
So either way, however you want to chop it up you go. You know, I kind of see things, try to break it down into simple little formulas and things like that. So
Yes.
everyone, just close your eyes, exhale, and I'm gonna go. If y'all got enough time, I'm gonna do it 2 times back to back to try to get as much as out as we can.
Okay.
Then we're gonna
Okay.
close out. So you gotta say our goodbye.
I'm ready to take off.
Ah, create that space. Ah, create that space of abundance, of connection to the cosmos. Just see yourself being connected to all that exists. And once you are connected to all that exists, you send your attentions out of whatever you may intend. Your love, comfort, understanding, whatever that intention may be. Hold that in your head and just breathe through your nose calmly. Right. Questions, comments, or insights?
Whew.
That feels good to me. I like
Yeah.
the way that feels. That was great. And I want to say this. I did experience something. Um, I experienced that when we went in and listened to it both, all our intentions were answered. You know, we are. I got me some glasses, y'all. I can see now. All our intentions, it was accepted. Like, and I seen us, um, where it is so strange. Is where you at? We always circled was enveloped with a golden light, and you're over there and you're over here and everybody right here. But in this scenario, I was seeing that we're always like at a pretty much close radius, and we're always glowing gold. And from that golden light, it brightened that light, and that glow got brighter. Then for some reason we got somebody noticed us, or we noticed them doing the same thing, and then that light got brighter, and then in other words, the domino effect.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got from that.
I understand.
That we were really into that, and it's cause and effect.
Yes. Ooh.
Anybody else got any
If I
insight?
may,
Yes.
if I may add to that, two words came into my mind, and it was momentum and peace of mind. I feel like momentum is something that occurs, and when you don't have the tools to not go in that direction, and the momentum picks up to a point where you can't stop it. You just have to ride it through.
Yeah, you gotta ride the wave.
You gotta ride the wave, regardless of how much you want it to change, regardless of, and sometimes that crazy wisdom, you know, you have some people come through with so much already that the momentum is already there, and things explode. And when you look at it that way, once you do let it explode and go with it, then that peace of mind will kick in. It hits.
Yes.
It hits.
Yes. Ashe.
That one.
Ashe.
It's inevitable. It's an inevitability. It will occur.
Yes.
And so with that, I feel like that peace is just there.
Yes.
And it's so nice.
Yeah.
She just described going into a black hole.
You know, we are black holes. We
like I said, I fragmented into darkness.
So powerful and beautiful, though.
Well, you know, the darkness is the womb of creation.
So you're being created.
Yeah, I want to just interject that, you know, it's been a very delightful time together tonight. You know, appreciate you, Lotus, for, you know, your willingness to share, you know, as much as you have. Everybody sharing, and I even enjoyed Aurora. She didn't share a lot, but I enjoyed the little bit that she did, because she came in her normal, her usual way with all of her energy, you know. So you got a chance to experience Aurora's energy tonight.
Okay, there she is.
So it was just a wonderful. It was just a wonderful night. I you know, I don't usually talk this much either, but I was just enjoy. I don't usually talk this much, but I really enjoyed myself tonight.
Oh my goodness.
We love and honor you.
Yes,
it was fun.
Always.
We love and honor all of you. Aurora, Lotus, Marcus, Delisha. I love and honor you all.
Ashe. Ashe.
Well, anything else?
Well, I'm gonna go ahead on an exit because I need to do some other things, but it was really well worth the time I spent with you.
Oh, thank you so much, Minister Amani.
Okay.
Thank you.
Don't forget to send me that chart, Delisha.
Oh, I'm gonna send it to you tonight. I promise.
It doesn't have to be tonight. Just,
no,
you may be tired right now.
You know I like to get stuff done. You know I'll get it to you tonight.
Okay.
Hey, it's my first time, Ray and the family. I enjoyed it.
Hey man, I enjoyed you here, Marco.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
We all bring in our energy, our power, our reverence, and we need it.
Yes.
We need
it. Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I say I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Hopefully I see y'all next Thursday.
Yes.
Marco, Lotus, I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Yes.
Aurora, we will be talking, sis. And
Yes.
Reverend Imani, you are
Yeah.
our light.
Yes.
You my
And
light.
likewise, mutual.
Yes.
Peace and love,
Yes.
guys, to all of you.
Thank you.
Peace.
I love you guys. I love you,
All
Lotus.
right.
I love you,
Peace,
Aurora.
Pat.
I
I
love
love
you.
you, Delisha.
Sleep
All
well.
right.
Good night,
Bye.
John
Good
Boy.
night.
Night.
Good
Good night,
night,
John
John
Boy.
Boy.